Have you ever been asked why did you start your business and feel like you're not really sure how to answer that question? Well, my name is Bridget Aileen Cisco. I'm the co-founder of Visibility on Purpose, and today we're going into business storytelling. And if you're new here, we help small business owners, product brands, and founders of really cool companies doing really cool things get visibility, get press, get interviewed, get on podcasts, get on TV before they're ready to hire a publicist. And we teach you how. You don't need a huge budget. You don't need to be a celebrity. You just need to be here and open and ready to learn. In this video today, I'm going to talk about why storytelling matters from a PR perspective, but also a general business perspective. We'll talk about a simple framework that I actually use for myself. We use this with our clients in our DIY PR course. And I'm going to give you three real life examples of business owners and how they can tell their story and where they can bring it and take it to so that you can see yourself in their process. And last but not least, we'll talk about where to use your story. I remember being in networking events and people would be like, okay, so like, how did you start your business? Why are you doing this? And feeling a little bit of that sense of overwhelm because it's kind of a big question, right? Especially if you have a, personal reason that you started your business or your brand or you founded a product or you created a product. There's usually a personal reason for doing so. And like that story can be a little bit convoluted, a little bit complex. So the question is, how do we distill information down in a clear, concise, compelling way that feels authentic for us? It can go and live on our website. It can be used in interviews without telling the story for like 2 hours. Now, I've had podcasts over the years. I've had a publishing company. I've done a lot of different things throughout my professional career. I will never forget, I was interviewing someone on my podcast and he told the story, which was literally an hour-long story, where I asked one question. I was like, hey, so like, how did you get here? And it was an hour-long story, which is totally fine and good, but you're not always going to have that time. You're not always going to have that space to tell that story. And some people just want like the spark notes of your story. So let's break it down why your story matters first and foremost. So the cool thing about storytelling for your brand is it's not just like the cute backstory. And although it has the relatability component, it's really about your positioning. And one of the things that we talk about all the time here at Visibility and Purpose, we teach our students inside our DIY PR course, we talk about it with our personalized PR plan clients, is that it's all about positioning. You can have a similar business to someone else. You can have a similar product. You can sell similar services, but your story is about your positioning. It's how you're seen in the marketplace, how you kind of stack up against the rest. And it's about this mental association, because what you want to happen in your business is that when someone thinks about a word, a theme, a topic, they think of your business. Like we want you guys, when you think about PR and doing it yourself and like learning how to do this, we want you guys to think, okay, Bridget and Lydia, Visibility on Purpose. It's the same thing with your story. It's like if someone hears a story or someone tells them a story, they want to think about your business immediately. It's top of mind awareness, and storytelling can bring that human touch to it. Storytelling is also how you connect with your people, your customers, like your audience, your community. It's also how the media sees you as a source. And if you're here, you likely want to get quoted in magazines. You want to be interviewed. You want to be seen as someone who is making waves in your industry. So story can actually support that as well, because it allows that writer at a publication to maybe be like, oh, this is actually a really cool story. Like, I want to tell it. I want to do an article. I want to do a segment on this brand and this founder. Now, one thing that's important to remember, and I remember this was important for me to know early on in my own journey, is that you don't need to have this like traumatic, dramatic story to be relatable with your audience and with your customers. It just has to be like why you are doing this. It can be a simple reason of like you were in tech sales and you realized that you were getting really burnt out, you weren't taking care of your health, and you decided to go into, building your own product company that helps people do X, Y, and Z. So it doesn't need to be this like wild story. It's just yours, and that's perfect as is. So let's go over the simple story framework that I personally use that you can take with you. It's in our DIY PR course, and if you want more details on that, just click the link below and you can check it out. So the go-to formula is really 3 steps. It's why did you start your business? Why are you doing what you're doing? Like, what really drove you here? What compelled you to say, hey, I want to like quit that job, or hey, I want to start this? And hey, why did you decide to pour time and energy into something new? Like that takes something within you. And if you've never done these reflections, I highly recommend that you do. Grab a pen, grab paper, grab a pencil. I used to host a lot of workshops where we would go deep into like, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you the person that you are? Who are you and why? What led you to arrive here? What was the impetus behind who you are? And the same thing with your brand. Like, what is the backstory of your brand? For Lydia and I, some of you may or may not know this, but I had a publishing company and I was helping women founders publish their books through Amazon. I also had been working with them with sales and messaging and marketing, and it just was a beautiful addition to my own brand to help them publish their books. But one of the things I realized as I started that company is that it's great to have a book, but you need to understand about PR and press and telling a story to external audiences and on other people's platforms. And that's where the PR piece came into play. Now, Lydia and I actually met in a Facebook group about manifestation in New Jersey. We realized we both went to Rutgers University and we decided, hey, like we might have something together. So we ran a workshop called Podcast Pitch Like a Pro and Rock the Show. It was something along those lines. And she had been a publicist for a decade, working with a number of top tier brands that love, trust. And she wanted to start something on her own. So we hosted this workshop. We realized that there was a lot of small business owners out there who, maybe came from corporate, but didn't know some of these things about marketing, sales, PR, messaging, and we knew we could help. The reason Visibility on Purpose started is because not every small business owner has $60,000 to spend, or $3,500 a month to spend on a publicist or an agency. And honestly, they want creative, like you want creative control over your brand's narrative, which is a big reason that people work with us. It's a big reason that people buy our course. It's a big reason that people work with us with our personalized PR plans. And so you can control your own narrative and your own brand. And that's the reason that this brand started. So there's always a story behind what you're doing and why you're doing it. So the first part of the formula, again, is I started this because, like, why did you start this? What was the impetus? What was that like? Kind of consolidate that into two sentences. Like, why did you start it? What did you notice? There's always an aha. There's always this awareness that you're going to have when you're starting your business. There's, a missing gap. There's a frustration. There's like this awareness that you had, and you realize, hey, like, not everyone's doing this. Hey, there's not everyone drinking mushroom coffee yet. I'm thinking about like Four Sigmatic. Oh, hey, like caffeine can be really depleting, but what if we add medicinal mushrooms into the blend? I love Four Sigmatic. What if we add medicinal mushrooms into the blend and make it something good? So you started this because that's the first part. And then the second part is, what did you notice? What was the awareness? What was the aha that you had? A frustration, maybe a challenge. There is, sometimes the challenge is what leads us to that deeper awareness of, hey, we need to do something differently here. So part one, I started this because. Part two, I noticed the awareness. And part three is the bridge between that awareness and what you do now. Right? So just like I said with Lydia and I, we realized that there was a gap in the PR world. There wasn't really a how-to guide for small business owners who don't have big brands or big budgets or deep pockets, and they don't want to pay an agency yet. We created this platform to be the solution to that problem. So there's always going to be a problem that you're solving in business, and your story is basically using words to articulate what that problem is, what you saw, your background, and how you bring it all together into what you do now. It can be simple. It can be concise. It can be, I don't know, something that really does feel good as well. Now, I want to take you through three examples. I'm going to take you through a nutritionist, a product brand, because I know a lot of you are product brands, or a physical therapist, right? You might have some sort of services. So let's start with a nutritionist. I'm going to kind of read what I wrote here. I started my practice after dealing with my own hormone issues and getting nowhere with conventional doctors. I was exhausted, bloated, and being told to just eat less. Obviously, we know that doesn't work. I knew there had to be another way. So I became a nutritionist focused on helping women understand their hormones, eat real food without guilt, and finally feel like themselves again. Okay, so that's why nutritionist started her brand. So when she's pitching, she can talk about the fact that she was dealing with her own hormonal issues, being told to just eat less or, consume less calories, and that didn't seem right to her. And now she helps women understand their hormones. Okay. Number two, a product brand. Let's say you're like a candle company. I started hand pouring candles in my kitchen during my postpartum time as a way to just feel human again. I couldn't find clean, beautiful scents that didn't give me a headache. So I created a candle line made with essential oils and coconut wax. No synthetic junk, no overpowering perfumes, no like fragrance, just peace, presence, and scent that supports your nervous system. So you can see the kind of why you started, the awareness that you had, and then why you do this now. So you see the bridge, you see the three-part framework here. Okay, last but not least, a physical therapist. I used to work in a busy PT clinic where we had 15 minutes per patient, and I hated how rushed I felt. So I left to open my own practice where I could give one-on-one care, focus on root cause recovery, and actually help people stay out of pain instead of just treating the symptoms. So, see what I mean? Like, these are simple, but they stick. They're rooted in something real. It's your backstory, it's your background, it's your awareness, and the bridge into what you do now. We love helping people have this awareness because I think sometimes like we're in a silo of our own business, our own work, putting out content, writing emails, serving our clients or our customers, that it's hard for us to see like how did we get here? So that's really where I'd recommend our personalized PR plan. So if you want our eyes on your business, you're going to kind of like tell us how you got here and we're going to put it into a story that makes sense for you to take to, send for pitches, to share on interviews, to share on podcasts, and kind of use it in your socials as well. So I'd recommend that if you're not really sure. Last but not least of this conversation today is where are you actually going to use this story and like why does it matter that you have a brand story? Now, once you write this out, like I'd probably keep this somewhere on your computer, just kind of have it. You can share with members of your team. It can be part of your onboarding process with team members as you scale and grow. You can use it in the following places. Website about page, definitely recommend having it there. It's probably going to be woven through your website as is anyway. Instagram bio, you don't have much room there, but maybe you thread some short keywords that you can add to your Instagram bio. You're going to use this in your media pitches. So podcast, editorial, TV, that story is paramount. It is what separates you from the competition. You can send this to your local newspaper, to the editors at your local newspaper, tell them like why you got started, why you're doing this, why you're doing a give back campaign in your local community. And last but not least, like even when introducing yourself at a networking event or marketing booth, just kind of like having this in your back pocket. It's not just important, but there is a sense of confidence, I think, that it allows you to share it with your people and people that you're talking to, your community, all of that, and on your like socials. Like it's likely going to be in your content as well. This is really how you start building trust before someone even buys, right? You tell them their story and they feel connected to you. Think about how many times you've listened to a podcast and someone's telling their story of like why they created that product brand, and you're like, damn, like I love that. I love that they're doing that and you feel connected to them. Now, last but not least, if you want help refining yours, we are here for you. Our personalized PR plans are super affordable and it's a way for you to get some external eyes on your goals and what you're doing. We'll write the pitch for you. We're going to look at everything that you have going on and we're going to basically create a personalized plan that you can implement. You can share this with your team. And of course, we have our DIY PR course that is completely self-paced, but it has everything that you need to know about public relations, about pitching yourself, and about landing media coverage for your brand. As a reminder, your story is powerful. You have a story. It's in there. It's unique. It's yours. And if this video helped you, please let us know. Subscribe, like, comment, share this video with a friend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.